Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much, especially for inviting me here. Okay, so I'm going to start my presentation about the domestic worker sectors in the Philippines. Our organization is the Samahan at Ugnayan ng mga manggagawang pantahanan sa Pilipinas, or SUMAPI. It is the organization of the domestic workers in the Philippines. We started since 1996, and we have already 500 active members, and we are registered associations. The only associations of domestic workers in the Philippines who caters the needs of domestic workers. And we caters mostly children and youth. The participation of the child domestic workers in ILO Convention 189. First of all, I would like to share to all of you that why we have to continue our organization and work with the domestic worker sector. First, because we have issues. Now, the number one is the abuses of girls CDWs are increasing. So what we do, we have members and we outreach our friends and share stories. Of course, we cannot easily organize the domestic workers because it's one of the hardest sector to organize. I'm sure you experience it in your own country. And of course, most of the organizer of these organizations are domestic workers. Now, I am a domestic worker, and I was trafficked before and work as a child laborer, and in the worst conditions. So that is the reason why I continue advocating the domestic workers issues. And one of the workers in the Philippines, a domestic worker, started to work as young as 9 years old. Okay, so second issue is the education. One reason is all domestic workers, especially the child, are self-supporting. They receive low salary, and the parents collect their money. So at the end of the month, instead that they're going to receive their salary, they receive nothing because their parents already collecting it. Okay, heavy workload and time on call 24/7. So even they already sleep, they were called when their employers arrived. Okay, and the right to education is suffocated. Number 3 is the gender discrimination by society. When you say domestic workers in the Philippines, they are degrading. No, they are using degrading terms. Domestic workers, no privacy, no room. Some of them just sleep under the table where they work, and then most of them sleep together with the cats and dogs, and treated as slaves, not worker. They prefer us to call as slaves, and they are not considered worker. And they work, once again, on call 24/7. These are the pictures. Okay, number 4, because of the many issues that we facing, we outreach at the parks, schools, and community where they found. During Sunday and during their days off, some of them have day off on Sunday, but some of them were going to choose depending on their employers. And on this time we gave them the right to play, and they let them socialize. And we have a connection through social media like Facebook. And we gave counseling to all domestic workers, and if the abuse is too heavy, we refer them to other NGOs and other partners. And we have room-to-room orientation about laws and rights, like in the ILO Convention 189 before it ratified. And we provide flyers plus our hotlines. Number 5, participate in consultations. Our domestic workers, since we already gave training to them, we already have the National Domestic Workers Summit 1, 2, and 3. We have core group write-ups. Of course, we have child participation trainings. We have art comms and photo exhibits. Also, we expose them to media dialogues and radio guestings. And we have rights awareness training. We have training on their rights. We have sharing of experiences and what are the responsibilities and the rights of the domestic workers as well as the employers. We orient also the employers in schools, the guardians, the parents, and teachers associations. We already have gained teacher support since we are organizing domestic workers in school. And we have referrals also to other NGOs, especially when the situation is worse already, and we can handle it by just the domestic workers sharing with each other's experiences. And we have job referrals and scholarship facilitation because most of them want to have a good job and want to pursue education. And since their employers don't want to let them go to school and don't want to, and they don't give right wages, so they prefer to work another way. So our organization helped them to let them find another job, and so that they may pursue their studies. Yeah, because of the trainings and all things that we've been doing to them, the abuse are decreased. We increase the reports and the hotlines. We increase the numbers, and we give them their rights and other information about the domestic workers through Facebook. We connect to more members using the social networking, and the issue is more visible compared before. Now, decades ago, they were not considered because they're hiding. Now, they're unseen because they're hiding at home. Now, even they will kill inside the home because since the home is private, so they're not being protected. So now it's more visible. The government is already working on it, and other stakeholders and other partners and concerns already working on it. And children demanded now for more education. Before they speak for their rights, they're asking for their salary. They can't do that. But since we already give training, they're now demanded more education. And increase the participation. Since they already have the outreach and a lot of training that they provided to them, like rights awareness sessions, life skills trainings, and other essential for the domestic workers. They already have deeper knowledge on issues, quality participation in debates when it comes to these child domestic workers issues, and they already have self-confidence to speak out, and more confidence in schooling and learning. Number 9 is the actions responsibility by stakeholders. There is already the accountability, and the child domestic labor associations are more legitimate and accepted in society. We already lead and join in our own activities, and we recruit more friends. We call them friends because we understand each other because we are the same domestic workers. We came from the same situations. And we engage in other campaigns like World Day Against Child Labor, World Day Against Trafficking, and etc. When it comes to legal framework, the Batas Kasambahay, or the Magna Carta for Domestic Workers, or known as the Republic Act 10361, is already passed, and it is aligned to the ILO Convention 182 on the worst forms of child labor. And now, there were more parents aware of the issues. more employers more careful not to employ minors, since they already have their laws and the ILO Convention 189 is ratified. So they are more careful by choosing domestic workers. No? They're not employing minors now. And education is a must. Mandated by the law that education is a must for all child domestic laborers. Yeah. Our organization also is very grateful and thankful for the ILO because they are helping us when it comes to training. And of course, the ILO Convention 189, it helps a lot to pass the law of the domestic workers in the Philippines. And thank you for fighting with us. Once again, thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you, Dayana. I think that was an excellent example of how child domestic workers organize and assist each other. The creative outreach through parks, communities, schools, Facebook, providing legal assistance, helplines, awareness training are all excellent examples for the rest of us. We're going to take a coffee break for about 15 or 20 minutes. And when we come back, we will give the floor to the audience and invite your interventions and questions to panelists. And I think you'll get more instructions from her. ¿15?
Informa-se que haverá reunião para os representantes dos trabalhadores às 18h30 na sala de semi-plenárias 2. E, neste momento, convidam-se os participantes para o coffee break, que será servido no hall. A sessão recomeçará em 15 minutos.